welcome into another game, playing in the blue as Huns. We have Mr. Yo on his account. This means war, so if you see that or if I make any mistakes between the game, this means war is actually an alias of Mr. Yo, to my belief. And over in the red, also playing as Huns, yes, we have Oh Hello, who is an alias for VNS Yellow, alias Smurf account. Well, it wouldn't be a Smurf account because they're all rated at like 2.2k anyway, so you can't really smurf a 2.2k when your rate's like 2.4. Doesn't really make sense. Anyway, a little bit of misclick there by the looks of it, or just misuse. But anyway, we are on a blind random, and it mainly resembles the Oasis map. For those who don't know, big thing of trees in the middle. Then we've got this area here, and lots of little patches of trees throughout the map. So the question is, when you start off, do you go to the little patch, or do you try and go to the big patch? Probably the biggest question at the start of the game. So, Huns vs Huns, we know how it usually goes. We usually see no scout cavalry, usually go straight up into the double archery range, start getting some units out. As soon as you have enough wood, put up that blacksmith, go for fletching, and just harass your opponent as much as possible. Every now and then can see a drush, not as common as it can be. So that one there, completely up to, well, personal preferences. And what's happening over here? Trying to lure his opponent's ball by the look of it. And this isn't a small map, actually, so this could be bad. Potentially could lose his scout here, actually. And you'll notice my sensitivity is really high, because I haven't turned it down since I've been playing. But anyway, losing the ball, and it looks like he's going to lose his scout here too. And 6 HP there, that scout's going to be in a lot of trouble. Anyway, not as bad as it could be. So, Oasis maps, generally known that you can wall them fairly easily. If you look at this area here and this area here, quite small to wall. A lot easier to wall than Arabia, especially if you walled straight across here. Be a minimal wall, and then again here, minimal wall. This area here again, minimal wall. So, it's really interesting to see the playstyles on it, and how late the games actually go. I've seen some really aggressive drushes on this map, where players get knocked out really quickly. Like, I'm talking old school drushes though, not the 3-5 militia, which we're all commonly seeing, but like the ones we got to like 10 militia. You build up, like, your barracks right next to them, and you just go nuts with militia. I've seen them work out really well, just delaying opponents' archery ranges until they realize they can build it back here. A lot of lower level games, if that happens, they will be really hurt out, and I've seen a lot of them. It's really interesting to look at a lot of old recorded games. So I'm actually thinking as well, I might troll like right back through the archives of all the games that we've got, and I'll see if I can find any older ones, because the game was played a lot differently back then. I think a lot of people can actually benefit from this, because some of those, like, really aggressive fording isn't done much anymore. Like, fording's done on occasion. We've seen actually Mr. Yo do a lot of that, but the way they used to do it was so aggressive, it's ridiculous. Just looking at old replays, you can tell. And there we go, so we've got Mr. Yo going out with a stable on a map like this. Definitely a viable tactic, especially when he's got so much food available to him, and he's going to be able to just run across to the other side of the map without too much trouble. And oh hello, let's have a look. Have you gone up yet? You have, and you're going stable as well. Don't think he's getting any of these guys out, but with that, Yellow should know he's going to need to get a few spears out or do a really quick wall. Looks like he's stonewalling off at this section. Wouldn't be surprised if we see more stonewall or even palisade come up on this side here. And there we go, palisade is going up. And VNS Yellow running down with a few units, and the spearman there as well. That's going to be the biggest thing on Mr. Yo's mind, mainly due to the fact he's got nothing out to counter it. He's still got to put up that archery range. Just going up in time, that village, it could have had a little bit of harassment on it, and it could have really delayed the time of that archery going up. But still, any units coming across the map for Oh Hello right now, also known as VNS Yellow. I said I probably will do this multiple times, but I'm sure you can deal with it. The fact is, he didn't forward, so every time he tries to reinforce, it's going to take time. It's going to give Mr. Yo that time that he needs to just break off the pressure, which is really big. Because if they're fording, of course, you can pump out units as quick as them, and if you take the advantage in the early game, you're going to have it there in the late game too. So it's really interesting to see how people play. Mr. Yo only producing 2 scouts by the looks of it, and then just going straight into archery range, because of course these spears will just absolutely screw him when he's going scouts. But it looks like we are going to see Oh Hello running through this section here. Might be able to snipe some of these villages. These ones over here in a very big amount of danger always until the town center goes up, mainly due to the fact they can just get harassed so badly and they're so far away from the town center. Anybody who's played this map and has been rushed with scouts can pretty much tell you that, mainly due to the fact it's impossible to get them back to the town center. That's just a known fact. Mr. Yo supporting his double archery stable there, and it looks like he actually, did he cancel that scout, or I can't tell, but looks like the spear will be taken down eventually. Might be able to take that scout with it, no, just surviving there, and Yellow being pushed back across the map. However, this isn't in his best interest right now. Looks like all he wants to be doing is booming. So if we have a look at this means war, nowhere near going up to the Castle Age. Currently on 36 population, and we've got a bit more scout warfare going on here. No bloodlines, and it looks like Oh Hello's taking that. Really interesting. Blacksmith finally going up. If we go over to Oh Hello, doesn't look like he wants to be going up either yet. Could see a change soon, considering he's got a little bit of food there available. And it could really be built on that, especially if he wants to go for like an 18-minute, 19-minute advance. Definitely possible within the stage, it just depends on how much military he decides to keep producing. And it looks like he's going to keep that scout count up, and is he going to click another one? I think he might be saving up. Is he gone? He's going to gold. Could be going for that archery range combo that he needs naturally to get out those cavalry archers. But could go knights as well, considering he's already got the stable up. But it looks right now that he's going to be saving up. He wants to keep Mr. Yo, however, just cooped up in his base. And we'll speed things up while this is going on, because it's just economy. But trying to keep Mr. Yo all cooped up in his base. And this villager here could potentially be in a bit of trouble, actually. And getting out of there just in time. Very good play by Oh Hello. One villager is not worth like 3 scouts. No way. Especially when there's so many spears there, it could lose even more. Nearly picking off that archer there, but again, got to be really careful with the way you play the game. Mr. Yo not yet walling this side, and I don't know. Let's actually check the exploration. For Oh Hello right now, he's actually got quite good, as you can see by the mini-map. A lot of, well, area available to him there. If we check Mr. Yo, not so good right now. He doesn't even know if his opponent's stonewalled. So he could be scout rushed from this side right now, and he wouldn't have anything to do with it. But what can you do? And it looks like these units might actually get trapped in here if Mr. Yo's quick enough. Is he going to go for it? Come on, get onto that one there. Do it. Nah, not paying enough attention by the looks of it. And this villager here most likely will die. I don't think he has any units in the area to help it out. And there we go, that palisade wall there also not getting finished, which is really important. And again, going to be able to probably kill off this archer here if he tries to. It looks like he's going to go for the village. Nope. Yep, going to be able to kill off that archer there. Just pick it off, because every little unit that you kill off is one more you don't have to deal with later in the game. Really important thing to do. And of course, not being able to put that palisade down in time. And could actually pick this one here off, but it looks like he wants to get out of there before too much trouble happens. Because of course, he hasn't got bloodlines on them yet, and he also hasn't got that armor upgrade, so he doesn't want to stand up to too much arrow fire right now. And once those spearmen come around, of course, it's going to be a lot of trouble. Mr. Yo is still in quite a low count on all resources. Hasn't spent any of his stone yet. He is going to be in a little bit of trouble up here by the looks of it if he's not careful. And I can't tell if he's going to... Nope, there we go. So I think he's going to be safe from that one. But getting taken out by these guys here. If we check Yellow right now, what are we seeing? He's got a lot of resources available. Yellow could be going up to Castle Age already if he chose to. Is he producing units? No, he's not. Currently on 41 population. Why haven't you clicked up yet? Probably because that blacksmith is not ready and he's only got one building to go up with. Something always interesting to pay attention to. You do get caught out every now and then if you're not used to doing the strategy that you are. And are we going to see the advance? Come on. I'm sure you want to advance. There we go. Castle Age being done right now. Still a lot of scouts in play for VNS Yellow, which is really important to note, mainly due to the fact that Mr. Yo is going to have to keep all of these spears just really well spread about. He's going to have to be really smart with them, and it'll be interesting to see where he goes. However, he does have a lot better military force right now than Yellow, and he's also got that double archery range play up, which is really important, mainly due to the fact he's not going to have to transition into it later. But of course, saying that, nope, there we go, I was about to say he could go for knights, potentially, but seeing the archer range go up, it's really hard just to stay in a knight cavalry archer economy. It's a lot easier to go for one, because obviously you need lots of wood or lots of food. Kind of hard to get a lot of both. It's just a really interesting thing to note there. These two spears here should be enough to deal with these scouts, mainly due to the fact they're so injured. And let's speed things up while we are waiting, of course. And we've got Mr. Yo moving out across the other side of the map as well. And I don't think he's going to be able to do a lot about this, and I think we're going to see a wall off here. Yes, we are indeed, but this villager in trouble again. Losing that villager, and Yellow getting out of there very well. Brilliant play so far by Yellow. He's been able to get a lot of harassment on it. He's lost minimal units for it. These 4 scouts have been alive forever. However, over here, we do see Mr. Yo going in for some harassment. Again, not going to be able to do anything, mainly due to the fact that this stone wall. Not going to be able to do a lot with that. And it looks like he's going to get out through here. Maybe. And, geez, Yellow is just keeping these units alive so well. Going up to the Castle Age now, so we could see a big Cavalry Archer play. And again, forcing all those units into the town centre. So just great play so far by Yellow. He's going up. This is going to be trouble for Mr. Yo right now. We've got 4 Archer Rangers going up. Well, 3 up, already producing Cavalry Archers. A third, well, a fourth going up. Of course, once he deletes this piece of wall off here, there's going to be a lot of damage going on. And again, just picking away at these units, trying to, of course, micro as best he can against these spears, which mainly means as soon as you see one's targeted, you move it away, so the spearman tries to chase after it, essentially. Let's have a look at Mr. Yo going up to Castle Age, so he's going to be able to start getting some damage done. But, of course, he's going to have to get some skirmishes out really quickly to deal with these Cavalry Archers, because they do have that range and attack upgrade, which means they are going to be able to start doing a lot of damage. Plus, he does have Bloodlines now, as we can see, 65 HP on the Scout, probably the best way to always note it. And another Archer range going up for Mr. Yo. So, of course, he is going to be going for probably a lot of skirmishes, honestly. So I don't think crossbows will stand up against those Cavalry Archers like he wants them to. Palisade Wall, of course, going to be able to get through it really quickly. Leads me to believe that Mr. Yo wants to go for a boom once he gets there. And that Scout will survive by the looks of it. But it looks like Mr. Yo is probably going to go for a few town centers right now. He does have a lot of wood available. Yes, there's the one. Are we going to see a second? No, but another archer range going up, so he's going up to 4 as well. And these crossbows here might be able to deal with this. I don't know if they're going to be able to do it totally. But they do have a little bit more range, so he's going to be able to micro them a little bit better. And of course, that one town center, I don't think... Yes, there we go. So we are seeing the 2 town center play out of Mr. Yo. I don't think we saw... Yeah, we've still got Oh Hello going for the 1 town center power play, which of course can be beaten by the boom, depending on how much damage he can do now. If he can do enough damage, he will be able to take out Mr. Yo without too much trouble, mainly due to the fact he should have a higher villager count, he should have a higher tech count, and that's a really important one to note. Armor upgrades have been done for both players. Have you got bloodlines? Yes, yes. These cavalry archers are on completely even standards right now, which makes it really interesting to note. Even a surprise attack from VNS Yellow right now could come in here and claim a few villagers' lives. So it depends on what he wants to do, if he wants to just go for mass harassment, or if he wants to try and knock his opponent out here. Interesting thing with Huns to note is generally you want the fight to last until Castle Age. You want to do as much damage as you can in Feudal, but you don't want to win there. You want to win in Castle Age because, of course, Huns, Imperial Tech, get heavy cavalry archers, you get paladins, but that's about it. So you need to be really careful that you really want to try and end the game in Castle Age. Imperial, of course, early Imperial, definitely a gameplay too, but late Imperial for Huns can be really dangerous. They don't have a lot to choose from. And here we go. Of course, lacking Oniga, just in general. I think they can only get Mangonel. That really hurts. So let's start getting some little pressure here. We can see Oh Hello is going for pressure play. He is just sitting out here, keeping Mr. Yo on his toes, because of course if he runs in now, going to be able to, well, lose quite a few units. Whether or not this is the right choice here to engage with these crossbows, of course these cavalry archers here might be able to make a little bit of a difference, but not sure overall. Haven't seen if anyone's done ballistics yet, no one's done chem obviously. I don't think thumb ring's been done, because they are quite expensive techs at the moment. They are important, but they're really expensive, and at this point you'd rather go mass units than tech. Mangonel is out for Yellow, and of course he does have a good point lead at the moment. Has he gone up for extra town centers? No, he is getting that stone in though. And yes, he is going up to the 2 town centers, so he is going to be able to equal Mr. Yo on that. And Siege Workshop going up there, nothing extra for Mr. Yo by the looks of it. And it looks like this Mangonel might be able to claim a few lives right now. I don't know if he noticed that and decided to pull back, or if he just decided that's the way he was going to play. So here we go, it looks like we are going to see some combat here. He might be able to win this one, but if this Mangonel doesn't get in here, he's going to lose it, mainly due to the fact he's just got less units. They may be stronger units in general, but they don't have that range that the crossbows do. They do have that little bit of extra attack, but again, still going to be really hard to deal with. This one spear over here, just causing a little bit of harassment, not going to be getting through there anytime soon. Has got his own Siege Workshop up, no Mangonel in production yet. I don't know if he has enough resources for it, honestly. But again, we're still sustaining this production. It looks like it, honestly. Oh, hello. No, not being able to sustain that by looks. It looks like he's running out of wood. But of course, these extra town centers will really help to bolster his economy and keep him ahead. That's what he really wants at the moment. He's ahead. He needs to stay ahead. Mangonel here. Getting a little bit of damage there, but nothing too big. Let's speed things up again and see if we see a really big engagement. Because, of course, at this point, everyone's just getting their economy up. We know enough about that. And the armies at this point are just prancing around, trying to look as formidable as possible. And, University going up, so ballistics can be on the way. Of course, could see fortified walls or something like that, but of course, ballistics being the most important. And here we go, patrolling units, of course, and a cavalry archer just getting out of there. These crossbows could be in a bit of trouble. And yes, losing quite a few there actually in that engagement. And Mangonel here might be able to get a 2-for-1 deal if it's microed well. No suiciding that one there. And of course, this one here looks like it might be... No, just not getting off one shot. Of course, this forward siege workshop managing to help reinforce really quickly. And yellow might be pushed out just in time. No, again, that Mangonel, of course, making the difference. Forcing his opponent to back off. Because, of course, you can't attack Mangonels with minimal cavalry archers. Unless you can kill it really quickly, you can't do it. And looks like ballistics will be done soon. Barracks is still up, and that one there would have really hurt. That's going to lower the HP on a lot of these cavalry archers, which of course isn't one of the nicest things in the game. The reason people build monks mostly is they like to attack with a fresh army every time. And it can really, if that's the difference between you and your opponent, it makes a big difference. Anyway, he's going to be able to start putting pressure onto here now. Mistio having to pull back to about this area. And of course, going up with some more archer rangers. Might go for a big skirmisher composition. Wouldn't be surprised, actually, so let's actually have a look. Cavalry archer, cavalry archer, cavalry archer, no skirmisher play yet. Really important to note that, because of course skirmishers are really good in this kind of battle against cavalry archers, mainly due to the fact they can't micro around as well. If it was on a big open map like Arabia, definitely skirmishers can be countered by cavalry archers just due to their speed, but on a map like this where there's one way in, one way out, skirmishers, if he just places a bunch there, if he runs through, he's going to lose a lot of cavalry archers, and these ones will be able to catch up, town center fire, etc. Keep his stuff safe. But until then, he's going to be in a lot of trouble. Elite skirmisher, there we go. So we are going to see skirmisher research. And of course, he does have all those upgrades on those guys, which is really important. Potentially going to lose a few villages here. 1, 2... And it looks like he's going to get out of there without too much trouble. Surprised we actually haven't seen a battering ram yet and him actually go for it, which is really interesting. So let's speed it back up again. Cavalry archers coming in, just trying to poke in, and of course doing the right thing. Getting out of there just in time. Looks like we do have ballistics for Mr. Yo, actually. That was quite close. Mangonel moving in, trying to get a little bit more damage, speeding things up again. Skirmisher play, of course. Skirmishers countered by Mangonel really easily. But this could be... That could have been a lot worse than it was, honestly. Mangonel suicides. Yes, killing each other there. Of course, you can micro Mangonels really well, but it really depends on the lag and the area that you're in. You can do a trade like that and still keep your Mangonel alive. It will be fairly damaged, but you can keep it alive. That's the main thing. And cavalry archers here versus skirmishers. We know how that's going to end. This one here, no idea what he's trying to do. Could be going for a runner or something, but standing there, just not a nice idea. And the way it ran towards, definitely not a runner technique being used there. And pushing forward with these cavalry archers, might be able to take this game quite soon, actually. Mistio is going to be forced to pump out a lot of elite skirmishers if he wants to deal with this. Right now, though, the engagement's definitely favouring Mr. Yo, mainly due to the fact he's losing a lot more cost-effective units. But again, oh hello, he's not in it for the cost-effective right now. He's trying to put his enemy down at this stage. So he's speeding things up again. So he's going to come into here, get some harassment on a lot of these villages, because of course, if he takes out the, the economy of his opponent, it's going to be a lot less in the army way. And getting that one there, that's exactly what I was talking about. But still, managing to take out a lot of villages here, which is really going to hurt him. And if we do look, we do have cavalry archers actually streaming across the map right now, and I can't be bothered to switch over to him because I don't want to miss anything. But it looks like these cavalry archers here will be dealt with, and those skirmishers, they will take quite a bit of damage from this Mangonel. However, that was probably poor management, honestly. He probably could have kept all these and just kept bulking up behind Mangonels, and then eventually came in with a lot of them, and been able to just win it outright. But again, he's going to have to rebuild up on cavalry archers right now, and it's not a game ender. Mistio can definitely recover from here. He's only 700 points behind. Not too far. His economy is pretty tripled at the moment. But of course, he is going to be able to come back from it if he does have the playstyle. But if he continues to lose Mangonels like this one here, I did get a bit of damage on that one actually. But if he continues to lose units for nothing, and his economy keeps getting harassed, he could be in a lot of trouble. Wouldn't be surprised actually if we see another town centre come up soon, mainly due to the fact that he's going to need to try and bolster his economy, because of course he has been losing quite a bit, and with that you can always create a few extra units to make sure, well, a few extra villages, just to push that economy up a bit more and try and put you on a bit of even terms, because of course the better your economy is, the faster you can stock up on units, and that's always a plus. We do have a knight out in play right now. Are we going to see more? No, could have been. Yes, we are going to see more. There's 2 out right now. And of course, they're going to be a good unit to deal with these mangonels. But skirmishes, of course, are bad against mangonels. It makes good sense. But it looks like these knights will get cut down pretty quickly, honestly, against all these cavalry archers. They don't have those armor upgrades, which are also important, mainly due to the fact, and whether or not he's just trying to scout the army right now is really important, or if he's trying to run into his opponent's base. He does have a gate here right now, so he's not going to be able to go for that. Could be going for an attack from behind on the mangonels, but of course 7 HP, that's not going to get you very far. And the cavalry archers still in production, a few skirmishes still, but mainly cavalry archers right now. So let's speed it up again, and it looks like no, just poking, trying to keep those units, of course, in a good formation. And that mangonel there, of course, going to be really threatening towards Mr. Yo, mainly due to the fact you can lose so many of those skirmishes so quickly, and anybody who's played a game like this has been piling on the skirmisher pressure. Once that mangonel shows up, your heart will start beating so fast. I don't know if that's just me, but a lot of people seem to find that. And surviving that shot there, and looks like surviving that one as well, but this could be quite damaging. And trading off there, this one dying off, so fair mangonel trades there. However, we do have cavalry archers coming from this side to yellow, and this is really going to come down to his control. If he can start really pushing on Mr. Yo in these 2 places, he's going to be really hard pressed to defend. He does have these town centers, which of course will really help, but the fact still is there's a castle here which is stopping him engaging. There's so many units over here that he can't deal with them. He can't split his army up at the moment. If he splits his army up, it'll be slaughtered. That's the main thing to really take out of this. And another siege workshop going up. How many town centers are we on? We are on 4 town centers. Oh, hello, hitting the Imperial Age. This is not good for Mr. Yo right now. How many town centers do we have for you? 3, 4, 4. So still on even town centers as well, unless there's one popped up somewhere that I can't see. University is up, which is always good. But this tech difference here is probably going to break the game for Mr. Yo. He's not going to be able to keep up unless he gets to Imperial Age. Because, of course, Bracer Tech, +3 range, +3 attack. Going to outrange out and out to his cavalry archers. Heavy cavalry archer, big thing to note there. And +2 armor, that really helps. That's probably one of the most important ones you can get. But of course, being able to outrange your opponent, definitely one of the #1 tasks that you want. Another archery range going up for Mr. Yo, so putting him on a massive amount of archery ranges right now. As you can see, he does have a lot of villages on wood and a lot on farms, meaning of course he can get that skirmishes out quite easily. Only not as many on gold, but of course still an important resource because heavy cavalry archers cost a lot of gold. Moving out now across the map for yellow, could actually see a fort castle potentially, or could see him coming up to this gold here and putting a town centre on that, trying to just control as much on the map as possible. Cavalier now for yellow, which mainly means the fact that paladins are on the way, either paladins or just amazing amounts of damage towards Mr. Yo, because as we know, paladins should come in here, even knights could come in high amounts with all the upgrades. Of course, needing that +4 because it really helps against any, well, ballistic defense, but going to be able to come in here, he will pretty much be able to hard counter anything in here. Cavalry archers, of course, are countered by knights if the engagement's favourable. Mangonels countered by knights, while cavalry and skirmishes are countered by cavalry. So if that happens, he's in a lot of trouble. Trebuchet is moving out, so these town centers are pretty much gone. Not going to be able to counter them with these guys. And I don't think he's going to be able to deal with this. He does have a lot of mangonels out in play, actually. But until then, don't know what he's going to be able to do. There is a push on this side for Mr. Yo. He's going to be able to push out here, but I don't know if he's going to be able to hold off this side. That's probably the main thing. Of course, these units here are going to be absolutely just shredding everything he has. And the trebuchets are going to be pretty much untouchable, mainly due to the fact they have 150 pierce armor, and the fact they're going to be so far away from the engagement that, well, it should favour. And here we go. It looks like he is going to pull back just before that town centre goes down. And it looks like he will actually lose his trebuchet. Yes, he will. And he's being pushed back through here, but looks at that 7 HP at night, of course, getting in there and getting a little bit of damage. and getting killed off by his own mangonel there by the looks of it. Formation changes are really important to note that pros always change the formation like that. Split function is always really well known, but actually luring these skirmishes outside the base, going to be moving back through here or defending at this stage, and we can actually see that we've got Mr. Yo actually maxing out on his population, which is really important to know. He does have a lot of cavalry archers available, but I can't see him really getting a favourable engagement right now, mainly due to the fact this castle over here is really going to be hurting on him. All these paladins, well, cavalier at this stage, are going to be coming in. And this stage over here still has to bust through, so it's really going to be a tough one for Mr. Yo to do. If we look at Yellow as well, not maxed out yet. Of course, he's going for those really expensive units. Hasn't got the heavy cavalry archer yet, but it looks like he could be going for Paladin. And there we go, 100% right as I said it. And Blacksmith, where's his smith at? I think it was over here, yes. And yes, that's that one there. Once we see this finish up, there will be an engagement, definitely, from towards Mr. Yo. This fight over here might not end as well, and I don't think either player noticed that. Either that, or Yellow just wants to end it right now, and he knows that Mr. Yo, of course, is going to have to retreat to this, because, of course, this amount of paladins can take out a town center without any trouble at all, especially once they get that armor upgrade, which they will also soon. These paladins being left to engage over here should be able to win this fight, and these guys are just continuing to run back across the map. We are seeing a lot of barracks being produced by Mr. Yo, mainly due to the fact he needs to get that pikeman count up. And the forward castle actually going up, no, being cancelled. Siege workshop, but being cancelled off either way. And right now, not looking quite so helpful towards Mr. Yo. Definitely going to be in trouble here. This engagement is, of course, not going to be favourable at all. We are seeing the forward siege workshop get created, and of course, that means there is going to be rams on the way. And if we look population limit, too bad. But still, Mr. Yo just absolutely gutting the space here, and there's not a lot that Mr. Yo can do against it. Yellow just absolutely smashing away at it. And here we go, Castle, of course, do good amounts of damage against Paladins with, well, 3+4, not so much. Castle going up right here, this is a really cheeky move. So probably going to be able to just seal down this section with this. Trebuchet being created and moved in, mostly likely to deal with this castle. Heavy cavalry archer has been done, but of course still not going to be able to stand up for those Paladins. 180 hit points on them with 7 pierce armor, so it's pretty much unstoppable at this stage. Mr. Yo's economy in shambles. If we look, he's lost all of this section over here, which was quite important for his wood and food count. And if we look over here, this Paladin's already attacking this area over here. Heavy cavalry archers, well, just cavalry archers actually moving in from this side. And looks like these Paladins actually are starting to get worn out in numbers, but it could just be because they're starting to get really spread out. Once this castle goes up, though, Mr. Yo is probably going to have to resign. If he doesn't keep this castle from going up, he should be using these heavy cavalry archers right now, probably delaying these guys. Halberdiers can deal with the Paladins. And there we go, the castle is up. This village is most likely going to finish up this one here. Rams are coming out. Are we seeing siege ram? Doesn't look like it. But, of course, this castle here going to just be doing a lot of damage. A lot of damage. Chemistry has been done, actually, for the looks of it. And Mr. Yo has done it as well, which is good. But, of course, these units over here just racking up as many kills as they can. Over here, again, just killing off every single villager they can. Which, of course, is really important at this stage. And then we go, Trebuchet's moving in. We see a lot of forward archer ranges actually going up for a Yellow. Mainly due to the fact that he's going to be able to get out those heavy cavalry archers. And, of course, they will be really well used. And what we're seeing over here, just a few skirmishes, more Paladins being dropped in from this section, and I would say this is it for Mr. Yo. We'll see the resign any second now. He's not going to be able to do a lot from here. His economies are really stunted. He's behind by a lot. The economy of Yellow right now, he's not going to be able to catch up. This Rams, of course, he's going to bust through here. Castle making it impossible pretty much to defend this section here. He's going to have to fall back to this line here, and of course doing that he sacrifices all this area here, and of course means Yellow takes this area and will be able to kill it off. This area as well, going to be under a lot of pressure. He's not going to be able to just stop a push from both sides. So, Mr. Yo, good play so far, I will say. But when it came down to it, that just early castle from Hello really put the damage on. And just a harassment he managed to get in there with those scouts was absolutely great. So Yellow pretty much winning off that scout micro, I think. And of course, coming in with those cavalry archers earlier. And that harassment really making the game. Hussars, of course, being created. Mainly due to the fact that, well, they're pretty resistant versus heavy cavalry archers, and they only cost food. And if we look over here, lots and lots and lots of farms. So he's going to be alright by the looks of it. And getting taken out here. Currently 50 minutes into the game. Trebuchets are onto this castle here, but it will be repaired without too much trouble. If we look, he's got 1,500 stone there. Honestly, he could probably just let it die and build another one for all he really cares. So Paladins running in through this side here. Halberdiers, of course, are going to be able to try and deal with them. but of course they will be able to outrun them and hopefully be able to kill off quite a few villagers. But again, it looks like they could be going for these trebuchets, actually losing that castle there, but no biggie. Of course, just dropping back, putting up another siege workshop, and getting out some more skirmishes. And he does actually have a lot of gold available, so I'm surprised we're not seeing a lot more gold-heavy army. Whether or not he's just trying to save it or not, it's up to him, really. And continuing to fight it out. And I think he's going to lose these trebuchets here. Siege ram has been done. Now they're just going to be able to soak up every bit of damage they possibly need. Trebuchets looks like they will be attacked by the rams right now. And yes, there we go. And Mr. Yo, GG, I'm waiting for it right now. And of course, castle going up immediately to replace the one that was lost because, well, why not? He's got a lot of stone available there. And of course, units still coming in from this side. The castle is going up to try and defend. But again, Hussars, skirmishes, everything just moving in. Mr. Yo's GG'd. So now we can pretty much just sit back and watch the fighting and see if how long Mr. Yo can hold him back. That's the real question. So this town center will go down. And this one over here looks like it will go up, which is good. But I don't think he's going to have what it needs. Double Siege Workshop, of course, going up here to counter that castle. Because, of course, well, if it's this stage in the game, why wouldn't you? Trebuchets, of course, going to be able to do quite a bit of damage. But whether or not they're actually used here will be interesting, mainly due to the fact that Mr. Yo's got a good force here. He might be able to take him out quite quickly. And, of course, we do have a good mix of trash here. Hussars plus skirmishers, always a good combination. And there's a GG from Mr. Yo. I was right, but then again, it wasn't really hard to call it. Was that no from Yellow? Did I say no? GG no? I don't know. Judge away, guys. Judge away. GG no. Up to you guys what you think on that one. I do not judge, for I am a commentator. I do not know the context. I will not judge. So anyway, thanks. Hope you enjoyed the game. It was an interesting one. Something different. A different map for a change. So thanks for watching and enjoy the next games.